So Kubrat Pulev is ready. It says he's ready to shred Anthony Joshua to pieces, and Eddie Hearn has been using smoke and mirrors in nailing down details for a title fight. Obviously, this is Kubrat Pulev's promoter talking, because we're yet to actually get a solidified date for Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev. We've actually got a date now for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury for December 19th. When's AJ fighting Kubrat Pulev? Kubrat Pulev won in his title shot for the IBF. Says they're talking about shredding Anthony Joshua, defeating him in devastating fashion. Because, what is actually getting on the nerves of, I believe, Kubrat Pulev's promoter, is that I think he feels like Eddie Hearn is trying to slyly sidestep them. Obviously, Eddie Hearn's been pushing for dates for Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, So I feel like Kubrat Pulev's promoter is basically, he's getting a bit annoyed. He's thinking, these guys aren't taking us seriously. They're setting up fights in advance, basically thinking we're going to be knockover jobs, walkovers, not taking us seriously, not giving us a date for our shot. What's this guy playing at? Let's quickly get to a few things that Kubrat Pulev's promoters actually said. He said, Eddie is known for saying one thing and doing another. He needs to organize his thoughts and form of doing contracts and obligations and dealing with people, because in the long run, it's going to create a lot of animosity and people are going to think twice about doing business with Eddie. Eddie doesn't come through as a guy who delivers on his promises. Let's get after Eddie and the champ, because enough is enough. He hasn't got his stuff together. We're still waiting for a new date. I understand the whole world has to reset somewhat, but people in the fight game are back in business. And that's exactly what I said, because I said December 19th has already been set for Joshua versus Fury potentially. So Kubrat Pulev's promoters looking at this. Furthermore, he said we're hoping Eddie might take note and start making some moves, but we are still waiting for those moves. I understand that he wrote a nice book. I can't wait to see his brilliance in his book. I want to learn from a brilliant guy like Eddie. Meanwhile, we're just sitting here waiting for a new date. So Kubrat Pulev's promoter getting annoyed and frustrated, seeing boxing moving in other quarters at top rank, and at top rank, and with Eddie Hearn himself setting up the potential fight between AJ and Fury, and the top rank set up between Deontay Wilder and Fury. The fight's already been set up potentially for December 19th at the Raiders, I think it's the Allegiant Arena in Las Vegas. They're looking to sit like 20,000 people. So he's looking around thinking everything else has been set up for other people. Dylan White is pushing for his WBC shot. Usyk is in some corner talking about his WBO shot. When are we getting our date for the IBF shot against AJ? I think he feels like Eddie Hearn is basically trying to sidestep him and looking at other things. But at the same time, obviously, it's his job, Eddie Hearn, to set up all these fights. He's still working on Dylan White's case. He's still looking at AJ as well. He's still got this fight camp thing and so many stuff on his mind. And obviously, one thing that Kubrat Pulev's promoter needs to understand is that this fight is not going to be behind closed doors. It's going to be in front of It's going to be, in front of a crowd. And obviously, they wanted this fight to take place in Tottenham Stadium. And does AJ and Eddie Hearn still want this fight to take place in the UK? Because if it's going to take place in the UK, I don't know the likelihood of when this fight is. I don't know the likelihood of this fight happening anytime soon. When are people going to be able to sit shoulder to shoulder in stadiums? Are they going to have to do fights in stadiums or arenas where there's going to have to be social distancing and that? Many unanswered questions, but we need to get a date set for the Kubrat Pulev fight, because if the Fury Wilder fight can have a set date, what's the problem with the Pulev Pulev fight having a date? Eddie Hearn's already setting dates for 2021. He hasn't sorted out Pulev. He's got Usyk potentially having to fight AJ. He has to sort out Dylan White. Talking about all these other fights, but when's this fight happening? Even Frank Warren, he set a date for the Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce for, I think, is it October or November? I think it's October. So if he can set up a fight for October for Dubois Joyce and Deontay Wilder, and Fury's been set up for December 19th, and Dylan White has already had his fight set up for August 22nd. Everyone else is having fights set up apart from Kubrat Pulev. I even think that Chisora Usyk, I think that fight has a date as well now. I can't even remember now. So the only top fight that's not been set up in terms of dates is actually Kubrat Pulev. So I understand where Kubrat Pulev promoter and Kubrat Pulev are coming from. They feel like Eddie Hearn is basically trying to leap them and be sorting out other things instead of dealing with them and giving them their set date. You know, when is this fight going to happen? Drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about Kubrat Pulev saying he's ready to shred AJ to pieces? Can Kubrat Pulev defeat Anthony Joshua? You know, I feel like Kubrat Pulev, this is heavyweight boxing. Everyone said that Andy Ruiz doesn't have a shot at being AJ. Obviously, AJ is going to come to this fight as favorite against Kubrat Pulev. Pulev, age 39. You know, obviously, he got beat by Vladimir Klitschko. Klitschko was a bit younger that time, but I feel like Kubrat Pulev put up a decent fight against Vladimir Klitschko. He got knocked down, I think, once. He got up, you know, decent, especially against Klitschko, that he had a lot of favors, leaning on people and all this thing Klitschko used to do. I feel like Kubrat Pulev put up a decent performance against Vladimir Klitschko. Pulev is improved since then. He's got a very outstanding jab, powerful jab. I think he arguably has one of the most powerful jabs in heavyweight boxing. Check out his fight against Hughie Fury. His jab is ridiculous. Crazy jab. Snapping guys' heads back with his jab. His defense tends to be on point. Sometimes the perception of him can be quite boring in the ring. But we don't know what he's going to bring against AJ. We saw what Andy Ruiz was capable of doing. Obviously, AJ presents loads of dangers to Kubrat Pulev. We don't know how he's going to deal with the power, the explosiveness that AJ is capable of delivering. But at the same time, is the AJ that we previously saw before the first Andy Ruiz fight, is that the AJ we're going to see? Or are we going to see an AJ that's still a bit shy, that's going to be a bit shy and a bit wary after his loss to Andy Ruiz and his cautious win over Andy Ruiz in the rematch? So we don't know what Joshua we're going to see against Kubrat Pulev. Kubrat Pulev at age 39, he's going to bring it because he's 39. I don't think he's going to get another title shot after this at his age. So it's going to be a good payday for him. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with what kind of performance or what Kubrat Pulev brings. But he seems to be talking confident and he's got a lot of experience. So I don't think he's scared of AJ or anything. He was meant to fight AJ previously. I think it was for IBF or was it for WBO? I think it was IBF as well. But he got replaced by who did he get replaced by? By Takam. So we have to wait and see what happens. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me see what you guys think. Cool.